All right, everybody, we're going to get started here. I want to thank everybody for attending this, what I call unique webinar and also unique style of trading. It's what we call Trade the Open, using futures instead of high-risk stocks. And this comes from some personal trading that I used to do years ago and lost a couple trading accounts where I used to trade high leverage stocks in my early days of trading. The bubble years of 2000, and in the middle of trading, stocks got halted, and unaware of what a stock halt even was, when the stocks opened up, in one case, the stock I was long, thousands of shares, the stock price got cut in half, and ran through stops, had no clue what was going on. It was a stock that was in the news. Didn't know that it was in the news, and all the news wasn't disseminated, so they decided to just halt the stock until all the news was out. It's gotten a lot better, but the markets nowadays feel very toppy, and with the break yesterday and the increase in volatility, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of this start to happen again more and more. So we're trying to offer a way that people can take advantage of high volume, high range times of the day, predictable times of the day, which is right at the open. And we're starting with the U.S. indices. But first, let me get something out of the way. U.S. government required disclaimer. Trading of futures, forex, stocks, options, or any instrument of leverage has large potential for reward, but more importantly, large potential for loss. Do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose, as we define this as trading with scared money. This will dramatically decrease your chances of becoming a successful trader, as it induces fear into your trading decision making. This is in no way a solicitation or offer to buy or sell futures, forex, stocks, options, or any instrument of leverage. It is important that you understand that we use historical pattern price action recognition coupled with support and resistance as a big part of how we trade. Past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. Even though you may see real money traded here of TFT, all results are considered to be trades taken in simulation with no representation that results can be matched in any live account similar to what is being shown. As CFTC Rule 4.41 clearly states, hypothetical or simulation performance results cannot be construed or considered in any way the same as real-time, real money trading results for many reasons. Use of any of this information is entirely at your own risk, for which Trend Following Trades, LLC, its affiliates, employees, or owners cannot be held liable. All information exists for informational purposes only. We are not registered trading advisors, nor do we claim to be. This is in part a summation and more of CFTC Rule 4.41. Thank you for taking the time to listen to that. And in the background, you're hearing signals go off, so I do apologize for that. It's very important that you understand CFTC Rule 4.41, as the SEC, NFA, and CFTC are cracking down on a lot of this unscrupulous snake oil type of companies out there. So I do want to talk about, we're going to be using the AMA2. Anybody's any questions, by the way, just please don't hesitate to type them in. Going to be using the AMA2 today. It's a product on the left-hand side here, coupled with our CT2 product to trade right at the open. And I'm going to set up this grid. We're only going to be using the top 4 rows, which is the ES, the YM, the NQ, and the EMD to accomplish our goal of hitting $1,000 before losing $1,000, okay? But I'm going to keep the 12 rows in here, and I'm going to fill out these remaining 8 rows and show you how we use our TFT DDWR. A lot of people ask me, what the heck is DDWR, our Daily Dynamic Wicked Renko? And it's a tool that we've developed over third quarter last year to help us deal with volatility. And let me show you, I'm going to click on the YM here. I'm going to bring a chart in, and I want to show you this chart, okay? And then we have one of these charts for every row, and then we have a market analyzer that gives us the DDWR number to use for the day. But I'm going to maximize this. This is the YM daily chart, all right? Now, normally we would trade a 6-wicked Renko bar, okay? However, DDWR, if you look at this black number down here, let me just get a pointer. If you look at this black number down here, it's telling us to use an 8-wicked Renko bar for today. Yesterday we used a 4. Now there's a proprietary formula that it calculates, but you can see here, you can see the size of these bars change every day. We get this number at the open of the overnight session. So we get it around 6 p.m. Eastern. And you can see here the volatility crack yesterday. Finally, this market has been so tight, and it only takes the day's range, not the overnight range, into account. And you can just see how when we have these big volatility spikes, it adjusts, and then when the volatility drops, it adjusts back down. And it allows us to take profit when there isn't much available. We get profit, and it also allows us to extend our profit when the formula that we create tells us to anticipate high volatility and high range. So it has told us that today we should anticipate fairly high volatility and fairly high range. This is the YM. So I've set the YM to be an 8-wick Renko chart. And then what I'm going to do here, let me just pull this out of here. Okay. Is I'm going to just pick an ATM here. We're going to use 6 contracts on an 8-wick Renko. Okay. But now we go to the NQ. Let me just bring that same chart in again. All right. And let me show you the NQ. You want to talk about a big crack. Look at this. It went all the way up to a 14-wick Renko. All right. Now, we normally trade 6 contracts on the NQ because it's always down here at a 4 or 5 lately. At a 14, money management, 6 contracts is just not going to let us do it. So we're going to have to trade 3 here on the NQ. So we'll be trading the 3 contracts on this time. It's been a long time since we've had a drop to 3. It's just so we pick our ATM. These are NinjaTrader ATMs. All right, and then we go up here in the ES, and we can see it's a 4-wick Renko. So we just pick 3 contracts, 4-wick Renko here. And what's nice is no matter the Wicked Renko bar size, the ATMs are all set for Wicked Renko, a certain number of cars and the size of the Wicked Renko. It doesn't matter the market. So then we go to the EMD here. Unfortunately, don't have a TF feed, so I have to trade the EMD. I believe the TF is coming back to the CME, which is really good. And it's at a 9-wick Renko. So here we'll go to a 3-car 9-wick Renko. This is a $10 a tick market. So when the 9 o'clock open comes, we'll plot a yellow vertical bar. It's in one of our indicators, and then we'll single-click execute this order flow button, which has technology built into it that let me show you, will tell us if we're trading against certain things. You can turn on if we have market structure. See the background we're coloring on the chart here is light red, or light green, dark green, and that means higher high or higher low, or a higher high and a higher low, or lower low, lower high, or lower low, lower high. So by color, we can identify the market structure. We don't have to worry about looking at it, and we can filter our signals and the lighting up of our trade button. This is just a single click button by turning these on. The only one I'm looking for is I'm actually going to turn on market structure short-term time frame confirm true. So I just want to make sure that this is either light red for a short or light green for a long, either light or dark for a long or light or dark for a short. I want to trade with market structure. Okay, and there's a bunch of stuff in here. And the other one here is ignore standard divergence. I do not want to trade into a standard divergence. It'll filter the signal out completely. So, this is the strategy trade button. Also, if any of you've seen some videos that we've been posting, we've actually been using a strategy, trading a fully automated strategy that is based off of settings like this, where the strategy has these turned to a certain way and is trading all on its own. The money management stuff isn't all quite worked out, but it's been doing very, very well. So I'm going to single click using this order flow button. Now, let me just explain to you, prior to having this technology, we had this button here, stop limit and stop market, where any time price would close above what we call our trigger line, we would get these signals, and then we could execute here. And I could still do that. I can completely ignore the filters if a signal pops up and I like it or want to take it. As a discretionary trader at this point in time right now, I can just click on this stop limit, or if it's a really fast market, I can click on stop market, because stop limit orders can be jumped over. For those of you that understand the difference between a stop market and a stop limit. So that was the EMD. Let me just go into the NQ. Let me just go in here. And I want to make sure that these were set up the same way, is I wanted to make sure that we are not trading here, and we want market structure short, term time frame, true there. And here. Now, for those of you, I purposely left this open the way it is to show you, but for traders that do this all the time, it only takes a couple of minutes. You leave this all the same, but it only takes a couple of minutes just to change the Wicked Renko bar size either the night before or 15, 20 minutes before you actually start trading. I usually do this with 12 markets, and then I'm going to show you the other markets, even though we're not going to trade them today. So just right here. So here now, it's not going to fire any signals that are not with market structure. Okay. Now what I want to show you the other way that we can tell, I'm going to go into the euro here. Just let this chart draw in. There's a lot of power being pulled on the CPU. We can tell, another way we can tell the Wicked Renko is by this analyzer. So you put all the instruments you want to trade in here, and this is our DDWR brick size in a grid format. Now I got to reload historical data, and we'll come back to this. Okay, you have to do that once. Should have done it last night. I didn't. But it'll tell you here, what were the Wicked Renko sizes, so you don't have to drag every chart in. We give you a chart, the ability to use a chart like this, an indicator here, and for today the 6E is a 5 Wicked Renko. You can see, again, we only look at session times, that we're going to trade. So we'll set this to a 5, and then we'll come back once that's done. Just hang on, I got a big lag here. Let me just set this to a 5. Again, we're not going to be trading these bottom 8 rows, but I'll have them in here. You're going to see all the signals go off. Thought I hit it. 5. Okay. All right. It's still actually trying to catch up. But really, what's important is 9:30. We'd be ready. We're ready for the top 4 sections. I'm going to have to put these in here because when I did reload all data, it lost them. That's no big deal. All right, so we have that. Our ZN is generally always a 2 Wicked Renko. Let me just look at our 6B. It's a 3. We're set at a 2 here, so we just go in here and change this to a 3. I'm just looking at another monitor instead of dragging all this over. There's a big delay. I'm going to set this to a 3. Canadian dollars at a 4. Natural gas is at a 6 today. And this DDWR really has helped out dramatically with capturing profit, extending our first target when the volatility increases, and also reducing it when it really drops. And it's been these have been very small numbers we've been trading with recently, actually for quite a while, because the volatility and range has been very small. So, and that's been a good thing because we've been able to, capture profit without letting it all just disappear. What profit we've had as trend traders. Oil's up to a 5 Wicked Renko, so we got a little more. You can see the oil we have set to open up at 9. If you want to trade oil, that yellow line plotted at 9 a.m. Eastern. And then our UB is a big, expensive bond market. So you can create as many rows as you want from 1 to 12. You don't need to have 12 up here. And the UB is back up to a 3. Okay, this is like 31.25 a tick. Let's see if it brings us out of chop. Yellow down here in panel 2 means that you're in chop. So let me just go in here and pick this again. 3 car, 4 Wicked Renko, 6-car 8-wick Renko, 3-car 14, and then 3-car 9. Okay, so essentially these are the 4 markets that we're going to be trading. And let me just bring this over, see if as this fills in, bring this back over. I did a reload. You can start to see here, if we look at the ES, see we're at a 4-wick Renko here on the ES. If we go to the YM, we're at an 8-wick Renko. If we go to the NQ, it hasn't filled in yet. If we go to the UB, let's see if any of these have filled in. UB is a 3-wick Renko. So you get the idea. 6E is a 5. So you can get it in a chart format that shows you what the range has been and where it's going and coming, or you can just work off a market analyzer format like this. We also use this for volume. Like oil has actually rolled, okay, to the next month, but we're still leaving it on month 6 because we don't roll, at least me personally, I don't roll with the calendar month roll. I roll with the volume roll. I trade where the most volume is being traded at. So we keep track of volume, and we'll change months, although we're not going to be trading oil today, but we'll change months, with the volume change. So just going to start to fill in. So we're 14,400 on month 7. So actually the volume has rolled into month 7. So if we were trading oil, we would be trading month 7 today. And natural gas, I know, is coming up on a roll soon. You can see they're both pretty equal, with month 6 still having the most volume. And gold, I believe, is still a little bit of time left before gold rolls. And we're still in month 6 on gold. So again, oil has rolled for you oil traders, both calendar and month. So that's kind of how we do that. Anybody have any questions on that before the open? Because once the open comes, I'm going to start single click trading, and I'm going to try to talk as much as I can while we do this. It's kind of hard to walk and chew gum and juggle balls while you're doing all this. So I have Lance on the other end. When we're done all this, Lance is going to go over a little bit the strategy that we have written for this, and kind of explain some of that to you, and sort of how that works. But when we get through the AMA2, this is technology that our members have and can use, and people can join, sign up for, and take advantage of. You don't have to calculate price. You can get in at any time with a left click on click to market. It'll go cyans long, indigo short. A right click will go the other way. Anytime you want to, you hit this close button. It'll flatten you out in this market or cancel any orders. Down the lower right here is a global close. And then we have a P&L. Up here is an open P&L of all markets. Down here is a closed P&L of all markets. When we're in trading, if I can add these two up and they're over $1,000, actually my target's $1,100 mentally, and I look at commissions, I see how many trades I took. I just hit a global close, flatten out, and that's what, if you watch any of these videos on our site in the performance section, intraday charts area, you'll see that sometimes I'm a little over, sometimes a little under. That's because of the way the markets tick when you just do like a market order close. So for those that, a lot of people have been complaining about the lack of volatility and the lack of movement, and they sit and watch the market all day and they get stuck in what they think is going to be a move, and it turns out not to be a move. And what I've been working on, especially I watch some of these stock traders trade these gap stocks, that are in the news and all that, and they have no clue about the risks that they're taking due to the potential for stock halts, because the news may not have been fully disseminated or whatever. And it only takes one stock halt to destroy your account, and then some. You get a margin call, and you're sitting there wondering what happened, what went on. Stops don't matter on stock halts. Until you experience one, it's a horrible, horrible feeling when you do. It can go your way too, don't get me wrong. Also, I want to show you something here off to another chart. We use this chart. We are going to try to integrate it into the strategy eventually. It's a 2-minute chart with an indicator that shows the strongest and weakest market. Okay, we tend to, if one is spread apart really far, like the EMD, a lot of times will be way short or way long. We will make sure if the EMD is weak, I said strongest and weakest, if the EMD is really weak, we'll make sure that we don't go long that market. Or if the NQ is really strong, we'll make sure we don't go short that market. It just doesn't make sense to do that. And it turns out to pay off in the end. Although there might be a setup in that market, we want to try to go short the weaker markets and long the stronger markets. So that's kind of how that works. So you can see here, I mean, we still have 8 minutes for the open, but our market structure blocks are all long on the ES. We click on it. You can see we actually have a setup right here happening. You know, we can go long at support, or this dashed line is at method. Currently right now coming out of chop on the ES, but we're waiting for the open. You know, we're going to wait for the volume surge, which happens typically right at 9:30. And we like the range search. What we want to see is we want to see some market direction. We like to look at the ES for overall direction. We want to see, you know, we had a big down push overnight, okay, and then 9:30 news, excuse me, 8:30 news came out, and I believe most of it was pretty good. Unemployment claims were down, and Philly Fed Manufacturing Index was way up from what was expected, so that was some good news, and pretty much the news is done. So after the news, the market, you know, decided to come back up. Let's see if it follows through. It does a little range search and continues the upside, or does a little range search and continues the downside. You know, everything's here, everything's in buy, except the mode and Qs and sell structures buy. I'm just talking out loud here, thinking as a trader. EMD went into buy mode and structure buy. So if it pulls back and takes off, it's probably what we're going to be looking for at the open. If not, it'll come back down, and we can also see here, this is our what we call trigger line. It has a volume component. It's called cumulative net delta. It colors this line and also these bar graphs here. All right, sometimes they're a little hard to see, but when they're dead even, they're never dead even. But if this is 50.1% and this is 49.9%, it'll paint this green. If it's the other way around, it'll paint it red. Sometimes the depth of color means that these will, like this green up here is a lot higher. Okay, so the color changes a little bit different. But this is a net cumulative delta. The difference in volume going off at the bid and the ask, the ratio between them means the market's net long right now, the color of it. And the pointing up just means that, you know, we're above the what we call the value area and going up. So we like to see it pointed up and green to go long. And let me see if anything's pointed down in red to go short. No, so we're poised to go long at the open. The NQ being the strongest market, but it's still in sell mode. This red bar here means it's in sell mode. So the NQ, the ES, and the YM are the three strongest markets. And then we have a choice. Left click puts a bracket order in, which will put an order in at method and at support. Whichever gets clicked in first will get filled. It's an OCO order. Will get filled using the ATM strategy that's input here. A center click of the mouse is a method order only using the ATM strategy that's applied in the workspace. And a right click is a support or resistance order only, meaning you're waiting for the pullback and you're going to be very picky about your fill. And then it'll use the ATM strategy here only. And then since we're using Chart Trader, we can move our stops and our targets based on chart support and resistance. So, and we break our ATM up into 2/3 at 2-to-1, risk reward to risk, and then we have a 1/3 trailer of our position left on. And that's generally what we teach people how to trade at TFT. So we want to get most of our position off at a 2-to-1 target, and then we trail our trailer at either reverse Renko, or we sometimes look at Momo, you know, if we have a divergence or if we hit a big double top or something like that. There's ways to get out how, according to the trade plan, that we help guide you to create, and what you create backtest, and, you know, that you're comfortable with, trade in sim for a while, and then eventually move over to real money. So let me see, we have another few minutes. I'll be zeroing out these net change blocks here. I'll just zero them all out. When you click on these, it zeroes them out, so we can get an idea from the open, you know, the weakest and strongest market right here on the AMA. So if you don't have the luxury of another monitor, I had actually the 2-minute chart up here and then another box for the strategy telling me which markets it could and couldn't take long or short because, you know, I wasn't controlling it, the strategy was. So until we get that 2-minute chart figured out, we were doing that manually. So we got about a couple of minutes to the open. People piling in here, so I'm not going to repeat everything I just went over, but when the yellow line plots, we'll start trading. I'm really going to be looking to click on this order flow button. Okay, I have the ability to click on price left for long. It'll put a order in 20 ticks below the market. I can drag that line in anywhere. I can right click short. It'll put it 20 ticks above where current price is. Then I can drag that line in anywhere. Or again, I can just click the market in, you know, left or right. Cyan's long and to go short. But again, the market is poised to go long. So let's just hold this here. This is our timer. Today's Thursday, May 18th. Got about a minute and a half to the open. NQ is the strongest market. EMD is the weakest market. But they're all clustered together really tight. The NQ is separating itself a little bit as the strongest market. But we got to get it to go into buy before we can do anything. In another 20 seconds, I'll zero out all the net change. All right, we'll just do that now. And the market has to tick in order for these to actually zero out. "30 seconds to the open, and then we'll be off. "10 seconds. All right. Wait for a yellow line to plot, and then we are open. Okay, there we go.
ES trade button setup.
All right. Let's click on
Order
this, left
pending.
click.
Order filled.
All right. Got long at support. EMD is the weakest market, so we're not going to take a buy there. It took a nosedive, the EMD did. Now this closes up. We move our stop 2 ticks to below the close. Looking for another market to get in. See how fast that went. Really need this to come up.
$6B trade button setup.
YM's and the NQ here. NQ is still in sell. EMD really took a nosedive down. Don't like that, but You can see here. Anytime this is orange, I can click on it. It'll move the stop to break even. Where's the volatility when you need it? Usually we get done in less than 30 minutes, so we just got to get into a couple markets. Once the markets kind of get in sync with each other, they usually do. We just need to get into another one before it gets away. So we get into this YM here. It just didn't pick up. There we go. Now we need a reversal bar. All right, let me just see here, the ES. Okay, I can move this stop. Actually break even. We went 2 bricks. If it goes up to 3 bricks here, I'll move it 1 more brick up.
EMD trade
Okay,
button
money
setup.
management. Now I leave it go. EMD's got a short setup, but there's no way I'm going short. I just can't. Not going to go. We're long the ES. Be nice to get a partial fill. The only thing I don't like about the ES is it's hard to fill. It's a thick market. You know, it's easy to fill a stop or your entry, but it's hard to fill your target. Missed it by a tick. Come on.
Target
There we go.
filled.
All right, let's just get this out of the way. Oh, this might be able to go on its
6C
own.
trade button setup.
This will be a boring event if I get 1 ES trade and it takes us to target. It's actually a double bottom reject back with the swing. Kind of what I said, a little range finding at the open. We have 375 here. We'd need 600, 625, let's say 650 open P&L. Just going to lock in another brick here. NQ went into buy now. Really all we need is a little reversal bar. But if the ES wants to keep going up, fine by me. It's basically $100 a brick. So I'm actually going to pull this up here. If we get a reverse Renko, we're going to lock in a lot of profit. Some of these other markets will pull back also, give us an entry. I'll flatten this out of the ES. Lock in some profit.
6C trade button setup.
You're hearing all the signals go off in a lot of these other markets. We're just focusing on the indices. I'm not surprised to see this one day sell-off, and it's a way for people to get back in. It happens a lot. Not the big sell-off, but any little sell-off, people get back in. All right, let's just see what the YM's doing. We just need to get a nice pullback bar here. The NQ, same thing. Really wish I would have gotten this YM trade manually. So you can do that, but I was really waiting for signals. I filtered this out. There's something I did I have to look at. I need to wait for a reversal bar, and it has to be above a support line. So this was through a support line, so it didn't fire off a signal here. Otherwise, we'd be done. But we're still good. Like I said, I know if this ES creates a reverse Renko bar, it's going to light up signals in either one of these markets. So far, we're only 19 minutes. I'm sorry, 9 minutes into trading. So this is what we talk about, try to get in, get out, get done. Also plan to use this type of trading on European. We're obviously trying to automate this so that we can run a training room, have the strategy trade this for us, and then we can discuss why the strategy is taking the trades that it's taking. Then we can also create this for like the European Open, 3 a.m. I believe it is Eastern, for the DAX, the FESX, the T, the different European futures during the European Open. Then you have the financials where you have the Asian Open, the European Open, and the New York Open, where you have big surges of volume and range, creating groups of currencies to trade there. So there's a lot of potential for this type of trading outside of just the US indices. And this tool allows you to create grids or groups of
YM trade button setup.
indices, or here we go, YM.
Order pending.
Okay, now here's an order
GC trade button
method
setup.
or at support. If this keeps coming down, this method order will come down automatically. Just want to see here. All right, we'll let that reverse. I want to watch this YM order. I want you to see it come down automatically. You can watch that purple line. Will come down automatically if it drops another tick.
Stop filled.
All right, ES stopped out, or trailed out, I should say. I can put another order in here also.
Order pending.
Another bracket order, so we're going to try to get in the YM and the ES. See that YM came down? See if we got another push. All we need is to get
6C trade button
one
setup.
more push up and we're done. We're up 575 right now. This is big support right here, so we really want it to come down here, but it may not. White means there's orders in. When it turns green, in this case, it means the order got filled and we're long. All right, market's pulling back a little bit. See if we get filled on support. We put these bracket orders in because we want to try to get the very best fill if the market's going to pull back. But if it's not, it's going to take off. We don't want to miss it. So it looks like it's going to pull back. See if we can get filled on the ES and the YM, the pullback. You can also see here in these little captions, it's hard to see where price is getting filled, but I can see what's going on in general with the market. We really want to see the bonds going down, which they are. UB also. ZN are two bonds in UB. So if I look at the ZN, we want to see this kind of dropping.
Order canceled.
All right, so we're long the YM. And the 2-brick stop. Now we want it to go back up. Along that support and the ES.
Order filled.
Along the ES.
Order canceled.
So we need this P&L to start going up. The ES, I call it the tide, pulls all ships up. Sitting right on support. So we had a nice push up, pull back, rest, and see if we get a second continuation wave up here. Going in a little profit here. NQ, I'm surprised. Oh. I can go into one
Order
market.
pending.
6E trade button setup.
Can only be in 3 markets. Really need this to push up.
Stop filled.
All right, we got stopped out of the YM.
Order filled. Order canceled.
We got long the NQ. NQ is the strongest market. YM is pointing down, so we're not going to get back in the YM, and the ES is second strongest, so we'll stay here. See if the NQ can save the day. This is the way this type of trading works. Get this to close up. 2 ticks. So the YM had a funny pullback. Okay, see, there's an automatic break even built into the ATM. We're going to need to see 925 or 950 here in the P&L. So hopefully it breaks through this double top. And I will hit this global close button if we see it. There's 859, 889. There we go. That should be it.
Target filled. Right. Target filled.
There we go. We're up 1122.50. So there you go. And let me just hit account performance here. Currency, group by strategy. Let me generate an account performance and go into trades. Okay, here you go. Here is the stats. We had 1 losing trade, 3 winning trades with commissions, 1,067. Okay, here's the commissions. If I go into the summary, let me just maximize this. 75% winning trades, 3.26 profit factor, really solid. And our R to R, I don't know where we're getting this 109, but I guess because I closed out with the, when I hit profit, that's probably why I calculated that, because we really only had one loss. So let me just go back to the trades here and see. Our one loss was 471, and these are our profits. So in any case, that's what we call trade the open, and we did it in, this was about, well, here, let's go to the trades. We'll see where we closed out our exit price. We did it in under 17 minutes, okay? So you can't be distracted or deterred when you have a loser. That's what it is. Let me just turn on the trade markers here for the ES. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to talk about it. So we got long here, the ES. We first target, second target. Then we got long here, and we global closed out there. Okay. On the YM, we got a pullback in here, got long here, just got stopped out. I was going to move the stop below this line, but I would have only moved it a couple of ticks, so I would have been stopped out anyway. So, hey, it happens, and then it decided to go up, so we got stopped out, no big deal. The NQ more than made up for it. Normally, we would trade 6 contracts on this market, but it was, since it's such a large Wicked Renko bar, we only went in with 3. So 3 contracts on a $5 a tick market, not bad. Got in here, 4 bricks. Got 2/3 of our position out there. I actually did a global close, right around where we'd be, just right before we'd be taking our first partial. And that's the end of the story. This is a total without commissions. A total with commissions is still over $1,000. So this is the same methodology. You can see the signals here. There's a signal there. Every place we traded, there was a signal there. There was a signal there. Okay, and on the YM, there was a signal here at support, and then we got stopped out. So every place we traded, it was a signal that was generated, a filtered signal according to the filter rule set that I had, given it. And in a very short period of time, what was it, less than 17 minutes, we hit $1,000 before we got stopped out with 1,000. We've been doing this for 35 days now, and I think in 35 days, we had 6 losing days. Our target was to get in, get out, and get done. So, we could have let it run, gone further, whatever, but we don't know, if this market's going to keep going or whatever. So the objective is to trade the open where we know that every day there's a lot of volume and a lot of range that happens at this time of day in the indices. And we're also going to find other instruments and all that. Lance, how are things out there?
Oh, looking pretty good over here. I'd be happy to share what the automated system did this morning if you'd like to turn it over to me.
Okay, if everybody hangs on there a second, Lance is doing his own thing there. We're trying to automate all of this for trading at the open because it's a very short period of time rather than trying to automate a whole chart over a whole day, and we're tying it into multiple markets, while not breaking certain money management rules. So let me just hand over control to Lance here. It's all you, my friend. You're going to see an indicator on his chart that's very different looking. It has all the setups for the strategy. So.
All right, so I just want to confirm that right now you're seeing a screen with 4 different charts open on it.
I do. So does anybody else see a screen with 4 different charts?
All right, great. Thanks for that confirmation, guys. So what we're looking at here are a first glimpse into the strategy that we're running in real time right now. So the chart indicators that we have here are not the exact same ones that we use in the discretionary package. They have the same core concepts, but there's a lot more visual here that I'm using for basically debugging purposes only. So if we were discretionarily trading this, a lot of this is clutter that you just wouldn't want in your way if you're actually trading this manually. But looking at it this way allows me to determine, is the strategy seeing what it's supposed to be seeing, and is it executing properly? So this morning I was running it, and I'll just pull it over the NinjaTrader window here. So what happened is it took the same trade that John took on the ES here, but it also it didn't miss that YM trade when it had a pullback here and then a method fill. As it was seeing that it was coming at it through transition here, it was able to detect that and place the trade and get filled on that. Then within, I think, 3 minutes or so, it reached its daily profit of about $1,000, and it moved all of its targets down so that it just got an instant fill with those different limit orders. And the net for the day with commissions on that was just under $1,000, coming in at $971. So this is a process that we've been running for a little over a week now, I think, or just about a week. And so far things have been looking really good. The goal here is to be able to use this to help educate and be able to run a training room. And John can give some more details on that here now.
Wow, Lance, in, out, and done in 3 minutes. That beats my prior record of 4 minutes. Talking about getting it out and done, that's the way to do it. But can you do us a favor and pull up the P&L? Really appreciate it, so we can take a look at that again.
Yeah, so here's the P&L again, just of the strategy, and then the daily. Let's see if I pull over the account performance here. The one thing about the account performance, because it breaks the lot sizes into different trades when you're running a strategy, it's showing that we took 8 trades here when it was really just 2 trades, 6 contracts on the
EMD
YM,
trade button setup.
and a 3 lot on the ES.
Okay, so automate it. You hit your target, and then I did it discretionarily, and you took that YM trade, or the strategy took it, and I filtered it out with the settings I had manually. Because remember I was saying if I was in that YM trade, we'd be done a lot earlier.
Yeah, it was just under 3 minutes.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, 3 minutes. But it doesn't matter. We picked up the NQ trade, later, and and got stopped out in the YM. That's all part of it. So the strategy really is designed initially. We want to run a live training room so that we can run the strategy and talk about why the trades are being taken and train people on the different setups. Because I'm one of those people that you go into a training room and you see a moderator trading 3 to 5 contracts, and that's great, but that's hard to make a living doing that. And so if you really try to trade true size as a professional trader, it distracts from your trading abilities and bottom line performance, because you have to answer student questions. So either your trading suffers or your education suffers. So our goal is to not let either suffer, let the strategy trade real money. Although, remember, we have to disclaim that everything that you see is being traded in sim. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, but we have to say that it is all the time. And this way we can take the trades and then explain why it's being taken, and then we can not worry about whether we are trading in sim or not, and then just educate as to what's going on. So it's better than a trade room moderator. We get the benefits of trading our accounts with our size, and also training our members so that they can understand what's going on discretionarily. Eventually, we committed to our membership group that they would have access to a strategy like this if we would send it to a broker with an LOD, letter of direction, where they would be trading it. There would be a charge, of course, per contract, and we would allow certain numbers, permission, and things like that if for lifetime. We sell memberships, we don't lease them. So when we get to a point where we feel it's solid enough, the performance and what we're doing, we already know it's the way to go. I'm not going to be trading sitting in front of charts all day anymore, especially after doing this. But I am interested in developing this strategy for other opens and things of that nature, because it truly allows for just a whole bunch of advantages for trading. You get in, get out, get done. Even if you get stopped out, you have to know how to be able to walk away though. So that's just kind of where that's at. And I'm going to switch screens here, Lance, if you don't mind, or if you can talk.
Yeah, let me go ahead and I'll send it back to you here. There you go. It should be sent.
All right, I appreciate that. Let me just get this up here. So you can see what this tool that we have created called the AMA2, and anybody has any questions about it, the single click technology makes trading really easy, makes trading decisions really easy, especially with the bracket order. You know, you put an order in, you use the ATM. You know, we're using the NinjaTrader ATMs as are created inside of NinjaTrader. And you can also, as a chart trader, you just trade the charts if you want. You don't have the same filtering capabilities though, as you do with the strategy trade button that you see lighting up here in this order flow column. So I do want to bring over our website. You know, we do have a, I have to go through this because this is our webinar specials. We do have special pricing. We're not going to be running very long, probably through the middle of next week. And then we'll take down all this pricing. So if anybody wants to take advantage, we basically have the chart trading 2, a day trader with then day and swing. We do get into swing trading. I personally do a lot of swing trading with options. Okay, I know NinjaTrader doesn't get into options, but you know there's a lot of various companies that you can use for options. I personally use TradeStation to execute options, but that's the purpose of it. But day trading is one part of it where you can, it's kind of the tip of the sword, the cutting edge. But when you get into swing trading, we allow time bars and things of that. There's no reason for the AMA2. It's really a day trading, how can I say? I don't know anything like it out there that allows you to single click execute in up to 12 markets when you see certain things set up. So you can get everything, that you want, and then as we get more comfortable with the strategy, we will probably open up as an option the ability to have access to it. Just not committing to it yet because we need to run more tests and have more time with its initial design to enable us to teach while trading. So right now it's one or the other for us. We train after 2 p.m. when our trading is done. We do a lot of support work for members that have any questions. I don't think you're going to find anybody in our group that says, we leave them hanging. So we try to do a lot of education, and we don't believe in snake oil, get rich quick type of schemes. This is not one of them. These are taking our signals and what we teach at a specific time of day when the range and volatility is predictably fairly high. So having said that, if anybody else doesn't have any questions here, I know a bunch went by here. I don't know if I'm able to answer them here. Thanks, Patient Trader. I appreciate your input on a lot of that stuff. We're just trying to do things a little differently, but for real, differently, but transparently, I should say, to give people different ideas, especially a lot of the stock traders out there that I see, risking their accounts all day, every day with stocks that are in the news and things like that. I've lost accounts, and they're gonna get halted, and they're gonna wonder what happened. The volume surge were the best times to start for other markets. We're not into that yet, Steve. I want to show everybody this chart. This is what we initially use to evaluate. Like, here's the DAX, okay? Because these aren't going to be, once we get this done, this is our next project. This yellow line you see here is the 930 US Open. This blue line here is the volume, and this, I don't know, pink line or whatever is the range, okay? So the DAX actually has 2 opens. It has the US Open, and it has the 3 a.m. European Open. So we're looking at some of the other markets, the European indices, the futures, to see if we can put a group together at 3 a.m. And I really do not want to get up at 3 a.m. Eastern to test this out and see what, trading a group of markets, because we have a lot of European members that would benefit from, them waking up and trading their open. So there's a group here, and then you have currencies which have 3 opens essentially. The Asian, which is weak, I believe it's the Tokyo Open, and then you have the London Open, which is fairly strong, and then the US Open, the New York Open, which is fairly strong. So we might be able to create probably 2 sets of opens there also. So, we're experimenting with this, and if we can create enough solid opens with enough solid strategies, then we can release to our membership access to them through a brokerage managed type of you know, strategy. We're not going to allow these strategies to be traded on people's computers. It's just way too dangerous. We try to be as responsible as we can. You know, NinjaTrader requires us to be responsible as their third-party add-on. We're trying to get into the education side of it. We've been trying to do that for a while, but needless to say, no matter what, you know, they're requiring us to be very responsible with anything we say and do with their name attached to it. So we need to abide by that. We're not trying to be reckless or promise the Holy Grail, which this is not. You know, this still requires you know, rules and tools and, you know, certain money management percentages and things like that. You're not going to come in here with a $5,000 account and start trading this type of size. You know, you start out with one contract and, you know, set your goals much lower, stops and targets, you know, a couple $100, this and that, and you can still trade this type of methodology. So I don't know, Lance, is there anything else you have to add or would like to add?
There's just one question. I answered it in the chat, but it was just a question about the amount of capital that's assumed to being used for getting these sort of results, or if we have any recommended account sizes.
Well, with this Wicked Renko size, we dropped to 3 contracts on the NQ, but normally we'll trade 6 on the NQ, 6 on the YM, and 3 on the ES, and 3 on the EMD. We'll never be in more than 3 at a time. But with the risk that's being applied, we would not recommend doing this in less than a $25,000 account. Again, you can drop size, or as the Wicked Renko bar sizes get smaller or bigger, you can add or subtract contracts, but we want people to understand that you need to manage risk before reward. Risk is everything. Now, we don't want you to decrease your stop sizes because you need to manage risk, or reduce the Renko bar sizes because they're being calculated based off of a formula that's known to work and work very well. You know, it proved itself today as an example, even with the losing trade and getting back in. It works very, very, very well. So the only way that I can suggest, if you're uncomfortable or if you want to reduce the risk or you don't have an account that big, is just reduce the number of contracts and reduce your daily stop and target size. We ran that 20-day experiment, which is well documented in our website. If you look here, this is open to the public too for everybody. Just so, you know, like I said, we try to be as transparent as possible. For anybody going to the performance intraday area, we were in the beginning, these are all videos posted, and you can see here there's 20 days to recap. Okay, but you go back here, if you go all the way back to the beginning, let's go back more. These are every day, the 20-day experiment. You'll see the winning and losing days. I think there was 4 losing days out of 20. And prior to that, we would post charts like this, where we would actually post some of the setups that we took, either trading or members handed in and said, you know, these are some settings that we took, or, you know, for educational purposes, we were doing this and explaining down here. If you go further down, we were explaining the type of day it was and some of the signals that were taken, and, you know, we were trying to educate and talk about what was going on, you know, during the day. So this is an area, we kind of left this open under performance so that everybody could see, you know, what we were about. And then we ran a little video here. If you want to listen to this, we talk about, you know, our explanations, and of course we disclaimer everything under CFTC Rule 4.41. Also want to thank Ryan Lai, who's present here today. And Ryan, if there's something you'd like to say from NinjaTrader, I can open your mic, and you know, if there's anything you'd like to say, now is the time to say it. Just type in a yes, and I'll open your mic up here if you're prepared to talk. All you got to do is type in a yes. Ryan's our liaison over at NinjaTrader, helps us out quite a bit when we have any issues with our membership group. I'm okay for now. Nice presentation. Okay, so Ryan's a little shy, doesn't want to talk. That's okay, Ryan. So anyway, anybody wants to come and join, you know, do it in a new member area. We got till Wednesday midnight. We'll hold this webinar pricing, and you know, next Wednesday midnight. So think about it. Call us, email us, come under contact here, and you know, there's email, there's a phone, and Skype. Once this presentation's over, we'll bring Skype back up. It's just this computer's really stressing out right now. And just please just respect the fact that we do trade ourselves. So after 2 o'clock Eastern is when we do support and follow-up work 2 to 6. So I want to thank everybody. Let me see if we got all these questions answered here. And again, we'll try to run these more often. This is a live trading webinar. You know, this is not recorded. This is not replay data. This is real market data with real market mistakes. So, you know, I hope everybody got something out of this. I'd like to launch one poll here, if I can have it. I'm going to launch this. I got to drag it into the recording here, okay? And hopefully everybody can answer this before we leave. I just want to get an idea. I don't know who's answering this, but please be careful. Once you answer it, you can't bring it back. But how many of you believe that you can buy software showing entries and exits with livable profit without complete market readability, meaning without learning how to trade? If you guys can answer this, I'd really like to get I ask this poll every time we run a webinar or a training session to our member group. I really want to see just what the overall percentage of people feel, you know, get a feeling for what, you know, people think out there. So if I can get a 75% vote rate up here, I'd really appreciate it. Got a very large group in here, so we got 35% voted. The sooner you guys get up to 75%, the sooner we can get out of here. I just want to see what people answer here. And then we take this later, and it helps us address people in different ways, and it helps us make a presentation to groups, keeping in mind what a large majority or a small percentage of people say or don't say. So we're up to 71%. I like to see the large percentage, and I'll share this. I don't know if you can see it. Now you see a big blue polling. I'll close this out when we hit. So we got 82% voted. I'm going to close this poll out, but before I do, because I don't know if it's going to show you the results, because a lot of this stuff is transparent in this GoToWebinar software, but we have 43% answered no, 29% said yes for scalping, 14% maybe, and 14% no. Believing that has cost me almost everything. So obviously that 14%, believe it or not, they're the people that either we help or they're the people that tend to gravitate towards us, because our company mission statement is to try to be the last stop on a trader's journey to success. So thank you, everybody. And let me try to close this poll out and see if it'll come up, if you can actually see it. It's transparent. I have a view of what everybody's seeing, and I have the poll up here, and it's transparent. So 43, 29, 14, and 14. So again, thank you, everybody. Any questions, you know how to get a hold of us. Have a great day. Good luck trading, and stay safe.